their need of a critical situation, there were people to support him because he developed that relationship with the external world. Certainly, if you go to somebody and ask for help, nobody will be there to help you. But unless otherwise you maintain your contacts, develop a good relationship with them, at the crisis time, they will be there to support you. Not only inside, outside also. He talked about communication, very important. Your body language, the appearance, the way you present. My father used to tell me, if you go to the office without taking breakfast, nobody will come to know. Nobody can make out whether I have taken breakfast or not. But if I go to the office shabbily dressed, people will definitely notice it. Your appearance, the way you communicate, it has got a long-lasting relationship building. So be fair to that. Anywhere, I used to tell my people, before coming to L&T, you should do 3 things, 3 years. Instead of doing 5 years, first you complete 3 years and come. Shit, shave, shower. Of course, ladies, 1 S is missing. It's okay. This is important for you to present yourself to the organization, to the external world. Be assertive. If you want to communicate something, thumb the table and tell the audience, yes, I want to communicate this matter to you. Make them attend to you. Be assertive at any point of time. Be enthusiastic. Many times once you go out of the college, the learning stops. Which you have seen, lack of time, family pressure, a lot of things are there. But that enthusiasm, if you continue to be there with you, you can learn better. L&T, we jokingly say it is learning and training. We continuously learn, continuously get trained so that you can remain in business, otherwise you will be out of business within no time. Learn from interactions. This is a classic example. Many people are coming from outside. They are interacting with you. They are giving their life experience. You can learn a lot of things from here. Time management. So I'm not going to give you any advice, but time management is crucial. One day I want to be there in Mysore at 8:45 in the evening to attend a meeting. I was stranded at the bus stand of Trichur. No bus to Mysore. The usual bus which was used to start at 1:45, it got cancelled. I was worried how to reach Mysore by 8:45. Of course, this will force you to take some risk. I took the next bus to Palghat, no seats available, I was standing. Reached Coimbatore at 4:45, another bus was ready to start. I got inside, I got the last seat. Those days, the Satyamangalam road, those who travel in those roads will understand the road conditions. It was so bumpy, a lot of potholes, but I could reach there at 8:45. People were happy, at least this fellow has come on time. Why I'm saying this, you can commit something, but you have to honor it. There's no point in telephoning saying that I missed the bus. Try to take some amount of risk. It may be inconvenience for you to travel in such buses, but make it a point. The person who's waiting there needs you there at 8:45. Time management is crucial in any organization or any institution that you work for. Show maturity level. Many times people come for internship. They are coming into an organization where discipline is important. If they are required to be there at 8:30, be there at 8:30 and follow the rules and regulations of the company. And you should have the abundance mentality. Many times I am seeing that it is missing nowadays. You have something, why don't you give it to the other person? Joy of giving, that week we celebrate. You get joy in giving something to the other person. I am requesting all of you, as alumni members, when you visit this institution, maybe after 1 or 2 years, you can share the experience with the newcomers, those who have joined here. But many times we don't do that. We are busy with our own life, our own commitments. Where is the time to go to Satyamangalam all the way and share your experience with your newcomers? I think this batch at least, I am requesting all of you, come back to your campus. Try to do something good for your newcomers, those who are joining. They will get exposure, the interaction that will help them to make them do good to the society as well as for themselves. Positive mind. I need not tell about that. Be positive all the time. Get ego out of the way. Many times I am big person. I need not listen to others. Why should I listen to somebody? That ego should be kept outside. Be a simple person. Listen to somebody. Understand that you can learn from them. Patients should let things unfold. He gave a classic example of bamboo growing at a fast rate after 5th year. It is true in your life also. The moment you enter into an organization, you feel that I am not getting promotion in 2 years, I am not getting promoted in 3 years. Be patient. People are looking at you. They are seeing your performance, how you interact with your team members, how you are contributing towards the goals of the organization, not only for your excellence. You should have the patience so that you will get rewarded. Like the bamboo should start growing after 5th year, you will see the results coming in. Accept the situation. I am sure you are sitting in this hall, I am talking to you. You cannot get out of this place now. Can you? So we are stuck up. But anyway, let us accept this situation. This fellow has come from Larsen & Toubro. He is going to talk for 20 minutes. See what we can learn from this particular interaction. Or you can ask question also. Any situation, you cannot choose your boss. I don't have a choice of choosing my boss. I have to accept him. I have seen many bosses, short-tempered, light-hearted, hardcore technocrats. Many type of bosses I have seen in last 35 years. Interacting with them is not that easy. But you have to learn the trick of the trade. But if you are able to adjust to those situations, you will become a winner. You are not going to lose. And you are not going to change that person also. He is not going to change. He is a hard nut. You cannot break it. You will follow his style of functioning. Adjust to the situation. Accept the situation. Simplicity. The chairman who is sitting on the dais, he has built up so many factories, so many institutions. But I have seen he's so simple, he's interacting with everybody so nicely. It gives you a lot of respect. Automatically the respect comes. Be simple, always. Of course, this is only my suggestion, you can choose. And if you want to be successful, first you define what you want to become. I have decided when I joined the earlier company in 1980, I would like to sit in a revolving chair. Those days, the supervisory cadre was given an ordinary armchair only. My first thinking is I should sit in a revolving chair within 5 years. I made it. Next thing is, within 7 years I should buy a scooter. Those days getting a scooter is very difficult. You have to book, wait for 3 years. Even that paper you can sell it for a premium, which I don't want to do. But I managed to get it in 7 years. Define your success in the beginning itself with a time frame. Within 5 years, I want to be there. But sometimes a lot of constraints will be there, but you will have to overcome. Don't get frightened. Ask for advice. I am not giving advice to you. You go and ask somebody who is a person having a lot of experience in the respective field. I am sure that if you go and ask your professors, they will definitely help you. But many times in the corridor, when you see your professor, you will try to take a turn and go to the other side. Change that attitude. Be friendly with him. Of course, my request to the professors and the lecturers also to be more friendly with their students, so that they will come to you. Of course, that fear will be there. We are having a science on wheel, which we send it to the schools. When the instructor from our campus goes to the school, the children are very free to talk to them. They mingle with them, understand the scientific formulas very fast. But the same thing is not happening with the teachers, those who are sitting inside. For when we call them separately and ask them, why this difficulty? We are afraid to go to them, sir. That's a problem. Please change that atmosphere. Be friendly with them. Both sides. Of course, students also should come forward. The first attempt should be from the student side, then automatically from the other side also things will happen. Attempt, I am sure that you will get benefit out of it. Be receptive to feedback. Many times during our appraisal time, we always say that you are doing a good job, fantastic, that and all. But the moment I want to give negative feedback, I am in two minds, whether to tell or not to tell. But if you don't tell that you are not doing a good job, he is not going to improve. My request to the students, be receptive to the feedback. Those who are giving you the feedback, take it positively and then do something to correct it. From the professor side also, try to take some time extra so that they will come to you for advice. Stay informed. This is required, otherwise you will be out of place within no time. In 2000, we wanted to implement SAP, that is ERP package in Mysore. I was not knowing ABCD of software. I am hardcore mechanical engineer. I was put as a team member for sales and distribution module and materials management module. I was a little bit worried what to do next. I personally went and joined a course on Oracle, learned a little bit of software, and took up that assignment. Other location they took 1 year to implement it, we completed in 6 months' time. The advantage, we could understand it faster because the basic learning of Oracle helped me to understand SAP better. Stay informed. Read the newspaper. If I tell them, they will laugh at me. Everybody comes and tells us that you should read newspaper. And all the foreign people talk, but it is not happening. People are not reading newspaper. Stay informed so that it will help you to grow better. Learn to communicate well, which your chairman mentioned in the beginning itself. Do a quality work. Engineering drawing, when we make that outer line, many times we don't have the patience. Those ends you don't do it properly. They will do it by hand only. The scale will be kept aside. This is not acceptable in the industry. You have to do a quality work. L&T is in existence for the last 77 years only because of the quality work that people are doing. People are appreciating that. Do quality work, you will get appreciated, no doubt about it. Take risk. In 2004, I decided to quit L&T after working there for 18 years. It was a sad part of it. But many people warned me, at the age of 48, why you want to take this risk? But I said, let me try. I came to Coimbatore, took an assignment. My father was sick. My moral responsibility to take care of my parents, that was pulling me towards southern side. I said, I am ready to compromise on my career growth, but I want to be in Coimbatore so that I can take care of, to some extent, my professional growth plus my parents. Do respect your parents. Do something for them. They need you. Little bit of compromise on your professional growth can be adjusted for the betterment of your parents. Please take care of them. But this taking risk has helped me actually. If I see my financial position, okay, I can be frank with you. I sold my house in Mysore for 26 lakhs. Many people suggested you clear off your loans and other things and be happy with that. I said no. I want to take little more risk. I took 15 lakhs loan and completed my house in Coimbatore. This 26 lakhs I invested in land in 2004-05. You know what has happened in Coimbatore? Land price has gone up. So taking the risk, coming from Mysore and then getting settled down and then investing in land has helped me to improve my financial position. The people who laughed at me, in fact, one person asked me, I didn't understand that much in Tamil those days in 2004. But the same person is appreciating me that you did a wise thing by coming to Coimbatore. You have to take risk if you want to grow in life. Of course, peace of mind is required. Otherwise, you cannot enjoy life. For that, health is important. My sincere request to all of you, get your health checked up yearly once, even though you are younger in age. Maybe the campus can do a health checkup regularly for the students. That will help. Of course, Dr. Ramani is there. I can be freely checked by him for all of you. I am sure that that type of benefit you have. Take care of your health, peace of mind will take you to higher heights. Of course, self-knowledge and self-awareness. You should know about yourself. There are 4 stages. Stage 1, you are entering into an organization, we are supervised by somebody. Then stage 2, you are becoming more independent. You are able to guide at least a people of around 10 people. Then further growth, you become the managing director of the company. There the strategic decisions are taken. It is possible. In L&T it has happened. The chairman of our company, he joined like us and he rise to the chairman's position by his own passion, the quality work that he has done. So you can see it is possible to reach the height if you are sincere and dedicated. I thought of talking about some 10 innovations that has happened in this last few years. One is Bluetooth, camera phones everybody is having in this campus, I know. Skype, smartphones, social networking sites, which has changed the entire climate of our society. Wi-Fi connection, anywhere you go, first thing you will ask, you have Wi-Fi, then only you will come to that campus. YouTube, 10 hours of material is getting uploaded every minute to the YouTube. It's surprising. It has got a very high impact on industry also. United Airlines, they broke one guitar of a famous singer. In the tarmac, they were not handling it properly. He was seeing from the plane, his guitar is getting broken. He went and complained, saying that my guitar is broken, do something to compensate. They didn't bother. What he did, he put something on the YouTube, narrating the incident in the form of a song. The number of hits that has happened, the share price of United Airlines came down. These people came running to him saying that you be the ambassador of our company, do the marketing of our company. And then he becomes successful. But I'm saying, this is the power of today's technology. But at the same time, it can be misused also. I try to conclude by saying that the reason most people never reach their goal is that they don't define them or even seriously consider them as believable or achievable. You should have the self-confidence. You should know your strength, weakness, and opportunities and threat that is there as of today. Go ahead, do a good job, you can be successful. You can be a great achiever. Whatever achievement that has happened till today, it is only a starting point. I am sure that you are going to do a better job in remaining part of your life. Wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Is responsible for all hiring recruitments in professional services, including global banking and markets, analytics and contact center. During her ardent career, Ms. Nagpal was given the responsibility of coordinating between some of the high-profile clients like Sachin Tendulkar, Sourav Ganguly, Ravi Shastri and Shoaib Akhtar. This multifaceted personality worked closely with various satellite channels such as Doordarshan, Channel 9, AXN and Sony to sell global telecasting rights and with various cricketing council. Currently, she is the recruitment delivery lead in Accenture, Bangalore. Ma'am, we now request you to address the gathering.
Thank you, everybody. And that was really nice. I think they pulled that out from LinkedIn or somewhere else, but it was really nice. I mean, I'm surprised. Good evening, everybody. First of all, I'd like to thank the college, Chairman Sir, the Principal, Sri Ram, and all the esteemed dignitaries on this podium for inviting Accenture to this event. Accenture has been associated with Banari Amman College, I think, from last year, but it's been a very fruitful association for us, and we would like to continue this association. But before we get into that, the main thing that we're here for is to clap for all of y'all. This is a very proud moment for every student's life, and I think we should all give you all a big clap for actually coming to this. I had brought a lot of papers to speak, but after I've heard all the stalwarts speaking and about their experience and about what they've been doing, all this is nothing. Yeah. So I'm going to talk from my heart. I'm going to tell you things that it will re-emphasize what Chairman Sir has said and what Mr. Raghuram said, because I think the experience speaks for themselves. I mean, the instances that they've given you, I may not be able to give you those instances. I may be able to give you certain things that has been very, that has touched me in my career and my life. First of all, I'd like to say you all are very lucky at this point in time, because when I graduated from college, I did not have the opportunities that are available to you today. There was only few things that you could do. One is become an engineer, become a doctor. And that was what your parents wanted you to do. My dad wanted me to do engineering. But I knew that I didn't want to be an engineer, I didn't want to be a doctor. And I followed my own heart. And that's how I've lived my life. I've followed what I wanted, what my dreams were, etc. But today, you'll have the opportunity of understanding the various facets that are available, various opportunities that are available when you have, people like Mr. Raghuram speaking to you about what they've done in their life in terms of how their careers have spanned. You've got so many opportunities. There's, the hospitality industry, the aeronautical industry. The opportunities are vast. So for you to pick, to choose, is a lot easier than what I had at my time. But the main thing what I'm trying to pick on here at this point in time is follow your heart. Do what you think you want to do, because your career spans a very, very, very long time. You spend 10 to 12 or even more hours at work. And if you don't love what you're doing, then it's going to be a drudgery to get into work. And you don't want that. If you want to be a painter, follow that. If you want to be a businessman, follow that. If you want to be an entrepreneur and do something new, do something innovative, do that. Because that's what's important. I've done various roles. When she read that out from LinkedIn, it actually brought me back. I was in the healthcare industry, I moved to celebrity management, I've done various roles, and I found my calling in HR. Why? Because for me, I thought people were important. Today, the role that I have connects me with students who I can see that the opportunities that I didn't have, if they have those opportunities today, how it would make their life better. So my main thing for you is follow your dreams, follow your heart. Don't live anybody else's dream. Don't live your neighbor's dream. Neighbor dreams of getting a Mercedes-Benz. Your dream could be different. Your dad's dream is that you take over his business, but if that's not your dream, don't do it. Follow what you want to do, what your heart tells you to do. So that's one of the most important things, I think, for everybody stepping out from college into their life. I think we've had a lot of people over here. Sri Ram's moved from various roles. He's come back to college. Because that's what he loves to do. Money will follow. Follow your heart. And the other very, very, very important thing is, for me, I personally believe, treat people the way you want to be treated. Whether tomorrow you'd become a manager, you'd become a senior manager, your colleagues, your friends, everybody wants to be treated well, and I'm sure you want to be treated well. So whatever you achieve in life, however big you grow, If you look at Chairman Sir, we were talking about simplicity and how he talks to everybody. That's what greatness is about. That's what, that's what shows who you really are. So treat people well. I think that's what's important. And when you get into an office, it's going to be very, very, very different from college. College, you have the luxury. If I don't want to attend the class, I will not attend class as long as I have 75% attendance. That's what I did in college. Yeah? So work is not like that. You have a manager, you have deadlines to meet, you have lots of things to do, and your learning does not stop at college. Your learning continues throughout your life in various aspects and whatever you do. Like Sir spoke and he said that he had different bosses. Whether it's a good boss, bad boss, you will always learn something from them. So it's very important to start absorbing. Be like a sponge, absorb everything that comes your way. I'm not saying absorb the bad, put that away, and absorb what you think is good for you. What's good for you may not be good for me. You may like something, I may not like something. So accustom that to your life. And the most important thing is enjoy your life. It's very, very important. I mean, all of us, we get to work, we want money, we want to do half a dozen things. We earn money to spend it with our family and our friends, right? And live our life well. If we don't do that, it's for nothing. So my advice to you is you're going out into the world. The rat race is crazy. Everybody wants to become VP, senior VP. If everybody starts becoming VP and senior VP, then what's going to happen? We'll have nobody doing the work, right? I'm not saying VP, senior VPs don't work. They also work. Okay? So I'm just saying that growth is not just vertical. It's also about absorbing and growing and expanding your own horizons. We've seen a lot of people in the industry who've actually said, I want to take a break. I want to do mountaineering. I want to do something else. I want to work with an NGO. Because they've not given themselves that time. So what I'm saying is, you can say that I want to work really hard and I will retire fast and then I will enjoy my life. You may not be there. So enjoy it while you can. So every day is a moment for you to go out, make your mark in this world, and do the best you can. And be satisfied with yourself. If you can go back to sleep at the end of the day peacefully, that's all that's important. I'm not going to take too much time. I know we have a ceremony and everybody's been waiting. So all I'm going to say is congratulations to all of you. And I think it's an extremely, extremely important day in your life and something that you would always remember. And I'm very, very happy that Soumya and me are here to be part of that. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
History has demonstrated that winners usually encounter heartbreaking obstacles before they triumph. They won because they refused to become discouraged by the defeats. A man who firmly believes in what he does and always looks for ways of overcoming obstacles is our director, Dr. M.P. Vijay Kumar, retired IAS. Sir, we now request you to address the gathering.
Dignitaries in the dais, of the dais, respect professors, my student friends. It is extremely difficult to come as the last person to address. You have had enough advices from horse's mouth. Extraordinarily good inputs, especially the do's. It's a very comprehensive list, so I don't want to add to this list. But having been invited to speak to you, I must speak at least for 4 or 5 minutes. I'll restrict to just 5 minutes. But what I felt, I will share my experience. I think it will be a good input for at least some of you. I come from a very small, humble agricultural family, very small family. I was the first generation graduate. I was the first generation graduate in my family. I did BA Sociology and then did Masters in Economics. After completing my master's degree, I was perplexed. See, at least in respect of engineers and professionals, you have a ready-made offer, but I was only an arts graduate. So I did not know what to do. Then the option available was sitting for civil service examination. I worked 2 years, 2 hard working years, sat for service commission and got through. But after getting through, then the big paraphernalia, the resources at your command, the respect you command, the social status you command was so high that I need not do anything for the rest of my life. I was there for about 5 years as divisional officer and then supply officer. Then I became general manager of SIPCOT. SIPCOT is State Industries Promotion Corporation. That is, the objective of SIPCOT was to finance industries. Those who want a loan, term loan, to start a business, to start an industry, they will approach the SIPCOT company for term loan. Now, the company's business was to appraise these loan applications and then sanction amount. I was general manager. Everybody else in the company was either an engineer or a chartered accountant. See, in the company of engineers and chartered accountants, I was completely out of place. I don't know ABCD of finance, accounting, neither engineering. But I was general manager. I was looking after personnel management. Then one day, when Diwali came, the workers were demanding for bonus. They were asking for 20% bonus. But the finance manager advised me, sir, we are not earning profit. We are supposed to give only minimum bonus. 8.33% bonus is the statutory liability. We need not give more. So during negotiation, when you negotiate with workers, trade unions, you tell them point blank that I'm sorry, we can't give you more than 8.33, which is statutory liability. So because I did not know, I just listened to the finance manager, and during negotiation, I told them the unions were demanding 20%. I told them, no, we can't give you. We can give you only 8.33%. Then the union leader told me, sir, you are earlier running in mercantile system. Now you are changed over to cash system of accounting. That is why the company is incurring loss. It is not our liability. It is not our. We are not responsible. The company still earns profit. It is because of the change in accounting system, the accounts are showing as loss. I wrote the entrance examination law. I came first in the state. Then I studied law. I studied law in the evening college. Then I became Commissioner Chennai Municipal Corporation. I had enough revenue background. I was a lawyer. I was a cost accountant. Now I felt the entire world was under my feet. I can talk to anybody. You see, if you know, if you are knowledgeable, you will not hesitate to talk to anybody because you know. I used to negotiate very effectively with my chief secretary, with my secretaries, demand what I wanted for the organization. So because of my potential, my knowledge, the organization gained. I didn't stop with the law. I did PhD in education also. Because education was my passion, I did PhD in education. Now why I'm saying, there were reference that learning, the process of learning never stops in life. All that will give you status, position in your career is your knowledge and skill. Now, suppose when you go home, normally every month your mother goes to grocery shops and buys provisions for every month. Let us say 1 month your mother is not well. She is asking you to go to your grocery shop, your provision shop, and buy provisions for 1 month. You suppose it costs 2,000 rupees. You go to the provision shop, you hand over this money. You hand over this 2,000 rupees to the shopkeeper, and will you ask him to give anything of his choice? Will he pack and give to you without your demanding anything? You prepare. You meticulously, you prepare. What do you want? How much of rice, how much of wheat, how much of dal, how much of oil? At home, you make a big list, and then you go to the grocery shop for buying. See, even for going to a grocery shop, you prepare a list and decide what you want to buy. But what about college? What about employment? When you come to the college, did you know what you wanted to learn? Did you know at the end of the fourth year what was expected of you? Now you are going to enter employment. Do you know what you look for? Now there is an exhaustive list given by the Joint General Manager of L&T. I will just give you 4 things, which you will have to be extremely careful. Number 1, continue to learn about your subject. Your domain knowledge in the subject is very important. So don't ever give it up. Whatever you have learned so far, keep refurbishing and refreshing. Item 1. Secondly, you must be able to apply this knowledge and solve problems. See, no employer will like to keep a person who is useless. Unless you prove your worth, unless you find yourself useful to the organization, the employer will not retain you. One is your domain knowledge. The second one, applying the domain knowledge to solve problems. Third thing, you must be able to express well, your communication. Finally, you must be a team player. However good you are, however best person you are, however knowledgeable you are, if you're not going to be a team player, you'll be a misfit. Please keep these 4 things in mind. Continue to read, continue to learn, equip yourself, build up your knowledge so that you will have a very glorious future. All the best. Thank you.